Hello, welcome to ReelFRANK Movie Reviews. Thanks for checking it out. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the new movie, Thor, Love and Thunder. We will be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go see it and come back and watch this episode. My guest reviewer and I are going to break this movie down. We're going to talk about how it fits in the Marvel world, where it could possibly be headed, and break out our favorite and least favorite scenes and give this thing an overall score. All that coming up next.
ReelFRANK.
All right, welcome back to the show, the ReelFRANK Channel Marvel expert, NYLES. Welcome back.
What's going on, man? Great to be back.
We've missed you. It's been quite a few months since we had a Marvel movie come out here.
Yeah, man, it's been too long, man. I need to get back on here more often, man.
We miss you. You are a fan favorite on the show. That's a fact.
I like to hear that, man. Hey, always happy to come back, man. Always happy to be back.
Awesome. So, Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, last time you were on, we reviewed, what was the last movie we did? Was it Mobius?
Was that, or was it Multiverse?
Oh, Multiverse. It was Multiverse. You're right. Doctor Strange 2. And in that episode, you kind of hinted that Thor was your least favorite Marvel character.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like MCU goes, like he probably was like out of the big guys. Yeah, definitely.
All right. That's. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not glad to hear that, but I'm glad you're sticking with that. So, could you tell the audience what this particular movie of Thor was about? Thor: Love and Thunder.
I mean, I guess it was based around Gorr, that Christian Bale, Gorr the God Butcher. Yeah, him trying to, I guess, slay all these gods, teach them a lesson, and I guess Thor has come in and shut it down,
Exactly, yeah, right. So, not being your favorite Marvel character, Thor, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was all right, man. I thought it did all right for my expectations. I think it did just fine. It wasn't obviously not the best Marvel movie of all time, but it definitely wasn't worse. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time, during the movie. How about you?
I did enjoy it too. I liked a lot of the comedic that was added to this film. It almost felt like a 70s Flash Gordon type of thing. I don't know if you've seen any Flash Gordon stuff. But
no, yeah, definitely. I got that vibe for sure, man.
Kind of like that. But the movie was good, but it was this far from being great. This far.
Well, what made you say that? What was it missing?
Marvel to me is the standard for CGI stuff. Like, This movie had a budget of $250 million. All right, $250 million.
Did you see the end credits? Like the actual credit, not the scene. All the companies that they're working with, all the visual effects. I was like, man, it was like company after company. Like, this is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? It is. Marvel makes you stay to the frickin' end of these damn movies so you can see the end cut stupid credit shit. So you have to see the 42 million people that work in these fucking computers to put this whole thing together.
Literally.
But my thing is the CGI. Oh my God. NYLES, CGI. There was some solid CGI, but for instance, the beginning, after the Guardian of the Galaxy people were there, and he's saving that one kingdom with the green, where he got the goats, and that the way that kingdom looked, it looked like a green screen. It looked awful. I don't know if it was telling. It just looked horrendous. So right off the back,
I did peep that, like their temple or their tower. Yeah, it didn't do it for me either. I did definitely peep the same thing.
It looked a little weird, didn't it?
I definitely peeped that.
And there was a few scenes like that throughout that movie, and you're just thinking, man, they are the golden standard, in my opinion. Like they're supposed to, because 90% of their freaking movies are green screen, right? CGI, right?
Definitely, they got the blue screen back there doing their thing. Like, it's funny when you see those behind the scenes things. Like, you gotta think like these actors are pretty good. They gotta have a pretty broad imagination. You know what I'm saying? Just for whatever they see around them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to act with nothing in front of you or some puppet in hand or something is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what they do today, man. I think like the worst part for the CGI, at least for this movie, was probably like those vines or whatever that was grabbing them. You remember when they were in like the negative zone or whatever it was called?
Right. That looked bad too. It did.
It didn't do it for me. And then it felt very Stranger Things-ish. Like, I don't know if you saw the new season of Stranger Things.
Not yet. It's on my list. I want to dedicate some time to it, and I just haven't had time yet. But so that's what it felt like, a little like that.
Yeah, just those that whole Vine thing that they got going, that Vine theme. It felt like that, but they just didn't execute it as good as Stranger Things.
Yeah. All right. So as far as the movie goes, was there a particular scene that you really enjoyed?
I liked when they were in the negative zone. I liked the fight. I liked how it went, like it cut off all the color from, to black, like color to black and white. Then when they're fighting with their powers, Thor's using his hammer, you see the blue lightning, and then they had Zeus's lightning bolt. They were using that to fight them. It was pretty good, man.
I agree with you 100%. That was my favorite scene. It was almost like two separate movies, right? It like went to this. His costume is this vibrant colors, and so is Natalie Portman's. It's these vibrant colors, and they go to that planet. Everything is like black and white and like a noir kind of like feel to it. And it almost Did you ever see that movie Sin City?
Yeah.
It kind of like a comic book black and white feel to it. I thought that was spectacular. Now that I was blown away, and I agree with you. That was my favorite thing, and that's why I say it was this close to being great, in my opinion.
Yeah. It was pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought the only thing, like you said, it was cool that they used like a whole bunch of comedy things in there. They had a lot of punchlines, and it was funny. I don't know. I thought they could have maybe made it a little bit more serious, especially when Gorr's around. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's a real threat. He's killing guys. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no laughing matter. Like, but it's cool though.
See, that's kind of a part I did enjoy a little bit because of Chris Hemsworth. I think he's very good as a comedic. The way he shoots out his line, he does it really good. It seems so natural. I like the bit with his sword, his axe, and the axe always getting jealous. I forget the name of the axe. What's the name? Stormbreaker. I thought that was kind of cool. And I did enjoy the scene where they made it like a sitcom where their flashback showing him dating Jane, through all the stuff we kind of missed to the relationship. Mm-hmm. I kind of enjoyed that too. But you're right, though. There were some instances where it's like, okay, come on, let's get a little serious now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking to the kids, like, they're in the clutches of the God Butcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's cool, though. Like you said, he does a good job at doing that, though. So, that's why it's not really a problem. But,
And how did you think Christian Bale did as Gorr?
I think he did really good, actually. I think he played a great guy, Gorr the God Butcher. It would have been even better. They just didn't. I feel like they didn't give him enough screen time. I feel like if they had gave him just like even that much more, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have did his thing, gave him a nice little monologue or something. He did have some good ones. But I don't know, just a little bit more screen time, in my opinion, and then that would have set the movie even more over the top.
It was. He was fantastic. He's great. He's just a great actor in general, and his villain, you could feel like the pain when he was screaming or the rage when he was screaming. My only thing with him is it's not so much him, the story itself. Like, the premise of the whole thing, they're trying to prevent him from getting that eternity thing so he kill all these gods and then make his wish or whatever. And at the end, Thor lets him make his wish to save his daughter, which I thought, what are we doing here? What's that all about? You got an opinion on that or something? Because I thought that was kind of odd.
I was actually like sitting there. I didn't know what he was gonna choose because he had finally got to eternity, and he had three things that I thought he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna either A, do what he did, resurrect his daughter. B, I thought he was gonna just say F it, kid, and wish for the death of all the gods like he went there to do. Or C, I thought he might have saved Natalie Portman, because he was talking about there won't be anyone to raise her. But I mean, Thor was there to do that, so that was pretty cool though. I like the direction they took it in for his wish.
And I was very happy that they killed Jane. I'm done with Jane. I'm good riddance with Jane. Get her out of this world. I'm glad she died of cancer in this movie.
Yeah, no, she's getting up there in age too, man. I mean, hey, she don't look like it, Hey,
that's right. That's right.
She's getting up there. It's time to start. They bringing all these young cats in, so I knew it was her time eventually because I knew she's gonna have cancer just off of the comics like that. Jane Foster in the comics had cancer. She had to pick up Thor's hammer, just like in the movie, just to save herself. I just didn't know how long that would be able to last.
Right. Now, I noticed something in the scene. I don't know if you noticed it. That scene where she's dying in that eternity thing, and Thor's holding her, right? He's holding her, like crest like this.
Like in the water?
Yeah. He's kind of holding her up like she's resting as she's getting ready to go. And, I mean... Chris Hemsworth is jacked for this movie. He is jacked up. Like, this is the biggest he's ever seen. His arms are jacked. I mean, he looks freakish. He looks amazing.
They had to show that, man. They had to get him in that shape because he was fat Thor,
That's right.
Endgame, in Avengers Endgame. So he had to get it back. But
in that scene, I was noticing he's holding her, and his arms are not as defined when he's holding her. His one arm is like faking. So I wonder if that was like a post-production scene. Like they'd filmed it, because it's been on, they've been working on this thing for a couple years or a year or something like that. And then I read somewhere where they had to do post-production shots, reshot some stuff after the fact, like a few months ago. And I wonder if at that point that shot was done after everything else had been filmed. Because I noticed like his arms are so defined throughout the movie. In this scene, he's holding her, and they're just not as defined. Or maybe it was a light issue. Something I caught my eye and was curious about.
Oh, I feel that, man. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Like you said, I'm thinking this guy just like, know he's been in the gym, but that's the only thing I peeped, to be honest.
Yeah, what did you think about the Zeus character played by Russell Crowe?
I thought he was funny, man. I thought he did a good job too. He wasn't the Zeus that I was expecting because I saw the trailer, whatever. I didn't know who it was gonna be, but Russell Crowe as him now. I think he did a good job, though. Especially like how they had like a lot of comedic purpose in this. Like he played that perfect.
And his accent that he was talking with was fantastic.
He was silly, man. And they captured Zeus, so perfect. Like Zeus was he was a slut, man. He was a manhole. So, he had all the women surrounding him. You know what I'm saying? It was funny, man. It was cool.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. Now, did you catch Matt Damon's cameo again?
No.
Remember in the beginning where they're doing a play and they're reenacting when their father died? They're doing that play.
Yeah.
Matt Damon is playing Loki. Yeah. He's playing him.
I'm crying. That's actually that's Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's playing him.
That dude looks like him, because I was thought the same thing. I didn't know that was actually Matt Damon. If it is, though.
It was. I did a triple check. I was like, oh my God, it's Matt Damon. He's playing Loki in the play.
That's hilarious. No, I did not. I realized he looked like him, but I didn't think that was the actual Matt Damon. I'm crying. That's silly though.
All right. So, anything else? Something you didn't like in the movie? Something you just hated? You could have done without?
Yeah, man. Like I said, just how they make the Marvel stuff just kind of like just so comedic all the time. Like especially like Thor and Hulk. Like Hulk. He's a man infected with gamma radiation. You know what I'm saying? That's not funny. You know what I'm saying? I just would say make him a little bit more serious. But it's Disney, so you get what you get. You know what's coming. So it was cool though. For the most part, I enjoyed the film.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We sometimes forget Marvel is owned by Disney. Did you notice from all the previous Marvel movies, I heard the word shit quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're getting a little bit more potty mouth, man. You know,
Shit was used a
I
few
guess they're
terms.
becoming more accepting of everything.
So Disney has approved the word shit now, so we could look forward to Mickey Mouse, Donald, and all the other Disney characters shitting.
Yeah, getting a little bit more potty mouth. Huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's what's going on.
House of Mouse.
All right, so let's go ahead and score this thing. Overall,
Let's get it done, man.
overall, what do you give this thing?
Overall, man, I think I'm gonna give this a 7.2.
7.2. All right, it's a pretty solid score. Not bad.
That's all right. It's all right.
For me, overall,
See what you got.
I give this a 6.7.
That's way better than what I was expecting you personally. I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna poop on this one.
It was
I
close.
thought you were gonna show a little bit of hatred, but hey, I liked it. I like what you came with. That's a good one.
The only thing that saved this movie for me, because I was very disappointed with the CGI. Like, there was some good scenes in CGI, but overall, like I said, Marvel is the standard for CGI. Was that whole scene where we talked about, where they went from black and white and it was almost like a separate movie, blew me out of the water. That I thought that was so cool. That's the only thing that saved me from trashing the shit out of this movie. And if they would have fixed the CGI, this thing could have been near the low 7 or high 7s, low 8s. But they blew it. They blew it. The CGI. Those CGI people choked.
I mean, yeah, it was different parts, man. I mean, what was your favorite? You know, besides, I guess you said the negative part. Wait, what about how about when they were flying on their spaceship? You know, they had the goats traveling, and they got the rainbow trail or whatever. You know, when they seen those floating,
yes, that was
space dolphins.
Horrible. I hated that part. And the thing that was annoying, and Niles, I hated their ship. That ship was awful. That little boat ship thing. It was. Is there any reason in the comics why it's like that? Is there a purpose for that, or they just chose that in the movie? Is there like a story behind it?
It looks like a Viking boat. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess. I mean, you know.
That boat was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It looked like it was wasn't it a roller coaster? Didn't that had a guy or like a ride, like a ferry?
It could be. You're right. Maybe. Could be something like that. So what do you think they go with Thor now? Do you think Thor goes back into the Avengers world, or Thor makes another movie by himself, or Thor pops in the Guardian Galaxy? What do you think they do with his Marvel character going forward now? Because Jane's dead, thank God. So where do they go? What do you think?
As far as his next appearance, I think the next, Avengers or, crossover movie, whatever they choose to do, I think that's probably the next time we'll see Thor. I don't think he'll get a whole second solo film, you know what I'm saying? Especially he's got his little step niece with him now.
Yeah, right. That's kind of weird too. And their name's what, Love, since the name Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. So, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, like I said, man, they're trying to replace all these old guys because they know they're getting up in age. Everybody, the original cast members, so they're getting these kids in place.
All right, Niles. So overall, you give it a 7.2. I give it a 6.7. Is there anything you want to add before we go?
No, not too much, man. Like I said, I just think could have been a little bit better. They kind of toned down the comedy level on there so much, but like I said, I think they did a good job overall doing their thing with it. They Disney-fied it up a little bit, but that's okay. That's what you expect now. So
you're right. I agree with you 100%. All right, that's our review for Thor: Love and Thunder. Thanks for watching.